World of YouTube, once again, true crime, tale of sight and everything else. This article came up again. I have covered it before. But what I read, and I definitely got to go back and to see if I, loading ad, get out of here, just stupid ad. Is that what I first read on this article? Now, of course, I hope I did go over the article, which I think I did, but, yeah, hopefully I, got that. And this is updated December 21st, 2021. And, what I remember this case being when it first came out, they were talking about some doctor might have done, some, what can I say? The doctor was doing experiments on this child. And because of the surgical stuff on the boy's body that was found, especially some darkness around his eyes, who knows, he's probably getting electric shock. This kid definitely had a deformality, and if you look at the original pictures, and the way his head is just big and huge, that, I believe, is what gave this poor child, the deformality to make people think that something was seriously wrong with him. And the last time, I did look and they enhanced this photo. This also is an enhanced photo, like I say. I just got done doing the Brian Schaefer enhancement, photo. This one is pretty much something like the same, but, of course, they found this kid's body, and I was looking at this picture, though, and I couldn't help notice that in some ways, boy, he resembles my third oldest son. Very creepy. But like I say, everybody has a twin. And, I get choked up, man, because I got kids. I'd hate to see this ever happen to anybody's kid, especially my own. And, whatever the case may be, I think this kid had some mental health issues, of course. Like I say, probably ADHD. Back then, nothing. This was in 1957, and nothing was, treatable with symptoms like today, right? All they had back then was the asylum. And that's what I was saying in my last video, that they should have checked every place for, hospitals, whether it be small institutions, big asylums. And in this new article right here, someone was a doctor at Penn State. And I can't remember if that's the penitentiary the Philadelphia Penitentiary haunted place. Or if I think that might have been an asylum. I do have to look into that. I forget if Penn State's the jailhouse or the asylum. And I think it might have been the asylum, but if, either or, there could have been that being said, that facility being there, I guarantee there was smaller facilities. Like, say so, we have Bridgewater here in Massachusetts. We had Danvers, but Bridgewater is still the running main asylum that still exists in Massachusetts. And all around, even the outskirts of Air, Mass, had their own small mental institution. If you go back in my videos and you look up the boy who drowned in my backyard, he, excuse me, was a mental patient at that facility. So, with that being said, that's right, Metropolitan State. You know, they had all these asylums and all these little ones. There was one even in Milford, Mass, I believe. A lady was arguing with me. It might have not been Milford, but I have a video up Asylum Street. And it does start with a Milford. I forget the damn name of the town. But whatever town that was, I drove down Asylum Street. And it had a small facility that is now used as a nursing home. Right? Pooh, I put it right up on there. This is an old asylum. Ladies arguing with me. That is not an asylum. Da 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 da. I said, I said, it doesn't mean, asylums, right? Back in the day, had to be big and huge. They had small ones for people like this child here, the boy in the box. If he was that type of kid. If he had disabilities, special needs, right, mentally challenged, they had the smaller facilities because of the simple fact they didn't want to put him with the violent mental patients. They could not do that. So that's when these little facilities started being made. So the violent ones would be by themselves. So this woman, argued with point until she looked it up. And she's like, wow, you were right. And I admit I was sketchy to, say, oh, that had to be an asylum. I did say it had to be. I didn't say it was. But to come find out later on that it was, hey, I know my shit. I know what I'm talking about. Because I'm all about asylums, especially going into the ones that are very haunted. And yes, I want to get my ghost footage, but soon that will be coming up one day. But before I get off track, that's what I said in one of my videos about this kid right here. But there's going to be a game changer now on this video. And I cannot believe, right, what went on, and even a witness came up. But, and this is what makes it me think that there was one of them asylums in this area. Because the person who came out and talked about this kid supposedly knew and I think pretty much watched this kid get murdered. And with that being said, they say, oh, we can't really go on this woman's thing, confession. She has her own mental problems, it's saying. It's like, you buffoons. If this woman's got a mental problem, then that means, right, I think she came out of the same damn house. And the story goes on as we'll move on to it. It was 1957, February 25th. And I would love to go to this site to pay my respects to this poor kid, man. Because, yeah, this kid was dumped off in a place where, people back in the day trying to get rid of trash. And back in the day, of course, people go throw it off the side of the road. I mean, people still do it, but, you can't afford it these days. But back then, it wasn't necessary to do, but people did it anyways. That's exactly what the people did to this poor kid. Now, like I say, there was a lot of mental stuff going on in this area. Mental people. And for them to go into this place where this kid had to have been, and it makes sense, because they found, like, these people were caregivers to, like, foster kids. And now it makes sense. But how, and he got all the surgical stuff and the testing done with the blackness around his eyes. I believe, right, they had this kid going to some mental hospital, getting tested, getting electric shock, mind you. And mind you, they used to put that crap around your forehead. You watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know, they put that crap all over. I wouldn't be surprised if this kid got a lobotomy. But this guy had a junior at a college. There was a college nearby. But these people that had him weren't college going people. But this is the thing. There's colleges. There had to be asylums. And I guarantee if they would have went to if they would have looked, even if it wasn't that close around in the area, that's the first place I would have went to, because they were saying, right, he had surgery on his ankle or something, doctors, knife incisions and stuff. That's why in the beginning, right, they was talking about it could have been, experimenting on this poor child, because he had to have a mental illness. And I'll keep saying this. And right, because of the simple fact of what happens in this story. Because he was wrapped in a blanket. We got to remember this stuff now. We remember the doctor's stuff. We remember this blanket. He also was put in a bassinet. He was dead for several days. The weather helped preserve his body. The boy in the box between 4 and 6. Toe-headed. With blue eyes, his body was nude. Saved for the blanket in a flyer distributed by Philadelphia police, laid out in a simple yet chilling detail. Full set baby teeth. That means this kid hasn't even lost his teeth yet. These stupid goddamn commercials. And, cause of death determined to be trauma resulting from the head injuries. Bear with me with this damn commercial. What the fucking see you dogs on Christmas. No, nothing to do with your Xfinity Mobile. Thank you. Resulting from blows to the head. But that wasn't the whole story. The boy's body was covered with bruises showing signs of severe malnutrition. There was an L-shaped scar under his chin and surgical scars on his ankle. L-shaped. I wonder what that is. I have to look up more on this because, like I say, it's one hard, huge, big pill to swallow to even imagine what this kid went through. His hair had been entirely cropped. I don't know. They did something with his hair. And that's what I think, maybe electroshock treatment, shaving his head so the hair don't catch on fire. There was bruises all over his body. Screw you, you stupid ad. And, later, leading... expert in forensic anthropology at the University of Tennessee, where he founded the Body Farm. The Body Farm in Tennessee, that's where they take bodies and leave them in the ground to do, how long a body takes or how long a body's been laying there, and how long the process of rotting takes. It goes on. Small Drive was unthinkable, though Bass saw more. I don't want to read all this. Figured the boy's family would come forward. So, yeah, in be solved by the following week. At first, figured the boys, they were figuring, right, here they are trying to think that the family's gonna come. And here's the boy, the original pictures, man, and this is just heartbreaking. And of course, I'm gonna get some. This is not for kids, not for the faint heart, not for the weak. If you can't look at these, you gotta leave now, of course. But, yeah, this is what happened to this poor kid. As you can see, I'm trying to see, how damaged his eye socket is. And actually, now that I'm looking at the left eye, which we would be looking at now at the right, that right eye looks like it does have a poke hole mark in it. With a lobe, they say, the lobe here, for memory or something, they poke that sharp needle, boing, 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 stab it right through your friggin' skull. And it looks like they did that to the kid. Oh man, lobotomy. Poor child. And, yeah, it looks like they have done that to him. Beaten. I mean, now this is what comes up next. Death, information, telephone, destination, passing no answer, 1965. I'm trying to get to this article now. Parents may have been itinerants of some kind. Itinerants. I don't know what that means. I gotta look that up. But immigrants. So here we are. I got a friggin' screenshot there because I gotta look that word up. And they're talking about of some kind of recent immigrants to the country. They found a newspaper article. Refugees. Hungarian refugees, and with it a photo they thought may have been of their unidentified boy, which they're supposedly finding this picture about this kid, but they had gone through passports, photos, and finding one that matched. They tracked that family in North Carolina where the state troopers found the boy from the photo playing in the yard. So they found that. And, John, where the hell is it? So here we have the home of 1960. Foster home, about a mile and a half from where the boy's body had been found. This is the new update of 2021. And the home had already been investigated, but armed with its new knowledge, Bristol attended an estate sale there, where he saw a bassinet similar to the one in the box. The boy's body had been found. He also spotted blankets hanging on the line that he said matched the ones which the unknown boy had wrapped in. Arthur and Catherine Nicoletti. Yeah, don't say that every day. Owned a large stone house. These are the two culprits, where they lived with anywhere from 5 to 20 foster children, adult, and as well as her adult daughter from previous marriage, Anna Marie Nigel. And this gets even sick. Before the discovery of the boy in the box, Anna Marie, who was only 20 years old, had already 4 children out of wedlock. 3 of them were still alive when the police came to question the family, while other had reportedly been electrocuted at the amusement park in 1955. Electrocuted? Oh, that's what I'm saying. What did they do to this kid? Over the years, and like I said, electric shock. Whether or not they did bring him to one of them asylums for this treatment or they did it themselves, this story gets better. Over the years, Bristow became convinced that the unknown boy, oh god dang, freaking piece of crap, had been a ward of the Nicoletti family. I should just be calling them the POS family. He believed that the boy had been another unwanted child of Anna Marie's, which died years later. Arthur married his stepdaughter. That's how sick and twisted this place was. So Anna Marie could have been the mother of that child, of the boy in the box. Hell, I'm about to wonder if these two were just cheating and doing things behind the mother's back. And it even says it here, right? The boy may have been a secret offspring. So yeah, they could have been doing behind his wife's back, behind her mother's back, cheating. Sick individuals, and that's why this would lead to the boy in the box being found. I've never been able to generate more than... Yeah, this poor guy died in 1993 and he couldn't get no conviction. Everything leads to this kid. Everything about the blanket, the bassinet, and the foster care, and sick individuals. Who knows what that guy even did to kids too? There's been foster care people that have been, in there doing sick crap throughout time. And because, right, stuff like this, never convicted, never fully searched. And why ain't they taking the boy in the box DNA and placing it to these two idiots? I don't even think they did that. But they are going to do the genealogy, genetic DNA at the end of the story. The same stuff they did with the Golden Gate bridge killer. And hopefully that will solve the case. Because these two scumbags right here, and if this kid is related, then right there the case is solved. But we're waiting on that. And that's just a friggin' train wreck in your brain. And once again, we're doing this DNA, stuff, but yet nothing on the Delphi murders. No. Whether it be weak DNA or not. But that is what they're doing here with this one. These people have a history of sickness. Whether or not they did and like I said, the electroshock, whether or not they brought this kid to be tested or they electrocuted him themselves, because it says it right there in black and white. Been electrocuted at an amusement park. I'm about to wonder if they did things to kids back then. I don't know how they would. I can't even say if tasers were even a thing back in 1957, but I'm for damn sure these people probably pushed their kids into an electrical box, or they did something, because it says that still alive and question the family. But I think these kids must have died. Another had reportedly been electrocuted. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. And them black things, like I say, in the face, and that's burnt skin it could be. So, I mean, yeah, this family here is a new thing. But for them not to friggin' I mean, yeah, they're going to do the DNA testing and everything, but not to look into these people at the time. Shame. That's poor investigation. And I mean, yeah, this all came up later on, like it says in this article. It's sick. It's sick. And like I say, I'm about wondering if these people did try like that because of owning an orphanage or whatever they call it. You know, I'm about wondering if they try to do their own type of, doctoring so they wouldn't have to bring them to the doctors and get in trouble. Home remedies, that's right, as we call it. When you don't want to go to the doctors, you look into home remedies. And I'm about wondering if they studied it or tried to study it or copy it. But I need to find out what that thing under the what leads to. I mean, yeah, they could have broke his ankle, and they probably could have, maybe put screws in it at the time for the kid, so that they wouldn't get in trouble or whatever that was about. Whatever that thing though, the L shape, because as you can see, whether them being self-doctors trying to do things, so right, they don't go to the doctors, or they did go to the doctors, that would be one of the damnedest thing. I'd be looking through a mile radius. I don't care how long it would take, how much money it would take. I'd go to each and every friggin' hospital to say, hey, you ever treat this patient? Asylums, everything. That's what should have been done when that body was found. And to me, it never was. But, if it had to do with them secretly doing their own stuff, you can't do nothing about it. But just in case, and, think about it. These people could have been buying medical tools or stealing them. These are things that would run through my head. And this is what's running through my head right now. This is all thought up right now. And just because this article came up like this and the surgical stuff being said on the boy, this is what I'd be thinking. You had any medical equipment stolen from the past, from this kid's death? Because, right, or even before that, any medical equipment stolen. Have you had any treatment to this patient? Right. That's what I'd be going for right then and there. But, my wife was talking about, watching Dateline. And, unfortunately, there are some law enforcement out there. And the guy even said it. Law enforcement on a case that was solved by something. And it was thought of by somebody else. And the guy said, I would have never thought of doing that. Because people don't expand their minds. You just cannot stay on one simple thing. Yes, the doctor theory of this kid, when I first started talking about this case, is what then I was thinking, no, wait. I would say a bunch of things. But when stories like this come out, and there's documentation of people living down the way, mile and a half from where this kid was found, then you gotta, now you gotta expand your mind. It sucks this stuff came up later on, not back then. And yeah, you would even think of child molesters. You would think of things like this back in the day. Serial killers, when something's reported, say like the Triple H, one of the first serial killers of all time could have been Jack the Ripper. And when you find dead bodies coming up, that's right, you gotta put your imagination into this, into everything. Bring all the possibilities out. Because Triple H wasn't even a doctor, but he would steal corpse from the friggin' grave to sell to colleges to do studies on. And he claimed he was a doctor. He probably even did stuff with the bodies to make it look like he was a doctor. That's right. So you put that with these people thinking, we can do our own doctory here. and not bring these kids in case something, so they don't get in trouble. That's right. You gotta think beyond what is just put up there in one article. Don't cut it. It's gotta be everything, multiple things. You gotta take things from different cases, pieces of the puzzle. Just like I said, Dr. Triple H wasn't even a doctor. These guys ain't even a doctor, and they could have done stuff. But call me mad, people. But this is what I do. Thoughts, theories, ideas. And I just added on to a bunch of whole other stuff to this case that I didn't see that should have been in there. Because you're not just looking at one damn thing, we're looking at all possibilities. So, this poor boy just sucks. Moment of silence. And all I can say for the people that did have this boy, and if it was them people, which honestly it could have been, I hope they died a very miserable death. I hope they suffered severely. And that's that. Till that next video, folks. Be safe, take care, always. Try and think positive. Because stories like this, man, just don't make it right. Out.